Innovation Unplugged from the Alabama Community College System's Innovation Center takes you inside Alabama's workforce development. Join us for enlightening conversations with community leaders and industry experts showcasing experiences, addressing key issues, and celebrating successes in the workforce initiatives across the state.
Welcome to another episode of Innovation Unplugged. I am Kailah Dozier, Director of Marketing for the ACCS Innovation Center. I have Gary Weaver with us this morning and Julie Frizzell. I'll let both of them introduce themselves.
Hey, good morning. I'm Julie. I'm the Executive Director for the Innovation Center.
Good morning. Gary Weaver, Regional Director for Workforce and Economic Development for the Alabama Community College System.
Awesome. Thank you both for being here this morning. Gary, we're going to start with you. So tell us who you are, what you do, and some things you're looking forward to this year related to workforce.
Well, you want to know who I am. I'm a humble person that believes in raising the standard of living for other individuals, to serve and not be served, but the opportunity to change our state. I've been blessed to be in workforce and economic development for 36 years now. Prior to coming to the Alabama Community College, I spent 29 years with AIDT, and then I was blessed when God opened the door to come into the Alabama Community College system and work with Mr. Jeff Lynn and Chancellor Jimmy Baker. With that, they gave me an opportunity to figure out how do we help our colleges produce quality individuals for business and industry throughout the state. And within that, the Chancellor's visions began to grow and manifest in the opportunities as we support our colleges. And when I say we, there's other regional directors, my colleagues, but I have the distinct privilege of being able to support the presidents and the workforce directors and their teams, career and technical education on 8 of our community college campuses in the central and eastern side of the state of Alabama. With that, how do we produce those quality individuals so they can be a viable part of the commerce in the state of Alabama, be it an entry-level position, a mid-level position, or they can raise their standard of living by promoting into a top-tier position somewhere within the state. So my primary function and role is to meet with business and industry if needed, hear them out, and give that back to the college, because a lot of times they are inundated in trying to provide the education and training necessary for individuals. They may not have the time to go and hear out what business and industry says. So mainly a support function, support role, and move that information along, build relationships, turn that into partnerships, and connect those dots.
Absolutely. And the reason Gary is with us today is because he connects those dots for us, for the Innovation Center and Skills for Success. And so, Gary, with your years of experience, and you kind of just alluded to all the things that you've done and your heart behind it, as we prepare for new courses and the trajectory of what it looks like for Skills for Success, do you see what have been trends in the workforce? And then how do you see the workforce in the next 5 to 10 years?
Of course, workforce is training or changing. Yes, and a lot of training goes along with that. It's imperative that change will take place. But as a whole from our state, we've got to realize people are ever changing, and a lot of people sometimes don't want to do I'm going to call it entry-level jobs. To me, they feel as if I'm above that. It's kind of like the minimum wage. That was never meant to be a living wage. It was to be a building block, a foundation. You know, you don't build a house on sinking sand. You build it on a firm foundation. So naturally, you've got to start somewhere and lay that cornerstone. And from that, you begin to build. You lay that firm foundation. So somebody has got to go back to the basics and get our people to understand you start and you grow. It's up to you how far you want to grow. Some people may want to be a broom pusher. Other people may want to, soar like eagles and go to the greatest of heights. Our workforce as a whole, we have one of the most phenomenal workforces in the state of Alabama. I think it's rooted in the people of the Southeast, just because of the agriculture that brought us to where we're at today. Now we're automotive manufacturing, aerospace. the diversity of what our state does as a whole is unfathomable at times. We have to truly be innovative in the way that we are educating and training individuals. I believe what's going to take place now is through the Innovation Center, we're granting opportunities to individuals to start out in high-wage, high-demand positions, whether it be an entry position that escalates at a pretty rapid pace for progression, or they start mid-level, they're able to take care of their family, but then obtain additional skills to continue raising their standard of living. We have a lot of untouched labor in our state. I believe that from the standpoint of ethnicity, the groups of people we have in our state. I believe that from people that have impairments such as sight, hearing impairments. That's an untouched market. We have the people that are incarcerated that's trying to re-enter the workforce. So we have to diversify and be innovative in the programs that we offer. And to me, that's what the Innovation Center does, is giving our colleges an opportunity to truly touch every individual in this state. As Chancellor Baker says, community's in our name for a reason. Well, you all have taken it to the next level through innovation to broaden the horizons within those communities for every individual to be able to seek a pathway and have a sustainable lifestyle and living in the community that they reside in.
Kind of jump in. Hey, so Kailah alluded earlier, like you've been really connecting the dots everywhere you go. Tell us, like, what have you seen in the last, 18, 20 months change in those communities that you've been serving across the state with Skills for Success, with the Innovation Center?
Wow, Julie, it's been amazing. Sometimes emotion plays into it because you see individuals that have struggled and they've been looking for that break. There may have been a closure somewhere close to the community they live in, and they've suffered. They don't know what to do. Transportation could be an issue. Childcare can be an issue. They simply want to have the opportunity to be like everybody else. Maybe it's to take the vacation they've never had. Excuse me. In turn, I've seen through the development of Skills for Success through the Innovation Center provide opportunities for these individuals to go, gosh, I can go back and receive some short-term training, very fast-paced, rapid training, and I can go to work within a few weeks. So the individual determines their success rate. When we grew up, we were told you shoot for the stars. It's the greatest thing out there. If you can't get them, you grab the moon. It's the next best thing. Well, it's the same way for individuals. You all, through the Innovation Center, Skills for Success, the foundation, is giving individuals an opportunity to shoot for the stars. They have to have direction. And in a lot of ways, we lost that focus years ago, in my opinion, because it became self-centered. It's all about self. What kind of accolades can I get? We can't look at that. We have to encourage each individual so they can be a responsible citizen and take care of not only themselves, but their families and their community. So within that, these individuals now have the opportunity, and I've seen it explode. And when I say emotional, you see an individual, whether they've had a good job or maybe they were at ground level, and this gives them that opportunity to truly grow or promote or retain a position because now they have received a skill where maybe they get a quarter or 50 cents an hour more, or maybe some more money, but they don't have to seek another way to take care of their family. You all have provided opportunities and continue to do so for the individuals that may be working a couple of jobs. Now they can go to one and they can be at home, take care of their family. That's imperative in what we do. It's not only the family unit, but our military. You all have touched the military in so many ways because a lot of them, I use the term loosely, but weekend warriors, our people in our guard that serve graciously, not just full-time military, but they have the opportunity now to be at home versus I've got to go work 1 and 2 jobs, then I go drill for a weekend. I've got to keep working and I don't get to see my family. You all have provided these opportunities through our community colleges to give them a chance to come home.
Awesome. Gary, you just touched on the opportunity that individuals have when taking Skills for Success courses. So for your counterparts for business and industry, what advice or encouragement or empowerment can you give our listeners on why they should take the time to think of Skills for Success when they're looking for training? This is specific for business and industry. So what advice would you have for them on to engage with us, why they should, the benefit for them, and ultimately the benefit for Alabama?
Well, you know, Kailah, a lot of times people look at a position and they look at money and money alone. When I grew up, it was about benefits. You know, I'll never forget my first job opportunity. The business administrator looked at me and said, "So you would work for free just for the benefits?" And I said, "Yes, because if I get sick, I can't work. But if I have some benefits, I can cover, you know, the health issue that I might have so I can return to work." So she laughed. That led me to see the value of benefits within a job, not just the dollar amount. Everybody has to have money to survive. What is taking place through the Innovation Center gives an individual an opportunity to focus. They can truly then look at the priorities in life and say, I can have money, I can have benefits, I can have a house, I can go on a vacation. I can do whatever I want. I can have a new vehicle if I need it. That's up to them. But within the realm of what you all do, you're providing hope. Hope is something that's lost in this world today in a lot of ways. You all truly provide hope in what you do. Your heartfelt warmth of driving in and out daily to build curriculum that's provided to the community colleges so they can then stand it up at a rapid pace and provide it for individuals. That's unfathomable. I'm not an educator, but in the past, education's always been, here's what we have, this will do what you need, take it and use it. I'm a product of the 2-year system back when it was called a junior college. I transferred to a 4-year institution. Unfortunately, in 36 years, I've used a 4-year degree one time. Nobody can take that away. But all people need to understand, parents, kids alike, 4-year education is wonderful, and it's required in a lot of areas. It may be a doctor, may be a lawyer, may be a banker, you know, an accountant. But there are positions out here, 10 of the top paying jobs require 2 years of education or less. Welders. I've got a check stub on my desk from an individual spent less than 2 years in the welding profession receiving their degree and their certificates. First 6 months of that individual's pay, $155,000. Now, is that going to happen for everybody? That's dependent on the individual. You know, your attitude is your altitude. So you've got to make sure you have your priorities in order. You've got to seek the desire to educate and train. And what's so unique about this is you provide it in a hybrid platform. An individual can do this lunch break. They can do it on the weekend. They can do it in a tree stand, sitting in a boat. You know, so many people love to hunt and fish in Alabama, but whatever that may be, laying on the beach. So individuals have the opportunity to truly progress at their pace. They're also given lab dates, and they can schedule that with any of their community colleges when that lab is being offered and go take that. And within a reasonable amount of time, usually a lab is 1 to 2 days, depending on what that lab pertains to, they can receive their credential and move forward. What better way? And they're all connected to jobs. Business and industry designed it, built it with you all, and they stand behind it. And it's amazing then to see an individual out here and a company says, I want to hire that individual. They're better than some of the people we actually have on our job sites now. So that's not to degrade the integrity of people that's currently working. It's simply to say we're in a struggle for people. And if we had the answer for that, we could all retire. However, those individuals that are there, we need them to come back now and upskill. And they have the same opportunity. So I'm thankful for our legislative delegation and Governor Ivey and her team through the Governor's Office of Education and Workforce Transformation for them to put the funds forth for individuals to be able to receive this education and training at no cost currently. I hope it continues. It's not to put any of our institutions of higher education down, but it truly provides a pathway for individuals then to get on their feet. They can earn and learn, and then we can pathway them if they desire to have further education.
Gary, a few weeks ago, we were in Prattville, for a professional development with our community colleges, diesel mechanic programs, truck driving programs. Tell us a little bit about why that was so important to bring everybody together and what's kind of happening in that area to really sustain training, provide training in areas of the state that didn't have transportation training. Like, kind of explain what you've been working on with that, really, to connect those dots.
Julie, that's probably one of the most unique features of the program that you all started with when Chancellor Baker said, we need to redirect our focus in some areas, and CDL is one of them, commercial driver's license. And within that, I had a passion for it because my dad was a truck driver. He drove for 65 years before he passed away. And uniquely, that clothed us, that fed us. So there's always been a little desire in there because my brother and I, we learned to back a truck up and down a dead-end street. So you always have a little of that in you as a kid. I want to drive that big truck. But when Chancellor Baker redirected the focus of the Innovation Center, and I had the privilege of being able to promote it and sell along with you all the opportunities, I began to see the value throughout our state. You have a lot of trucking institutions that are large in the state of Alabama. You have mom and pop shops. You have education systems that run buses day in and day out to get young people, to school, be it elementary school or right up through high school. You have a bus transit system, be it a Greyhound bus or whatever it may be that's running in this state or taking people out of state. The value of that then could change not only the state of Alabama for intrastate, but the interstate side of it for people that may want a Class A where they drive a commercial truck and trailer to deliver goods. When you look at what Mark Colson and the Alabama Trucking Association, they do, everything through the trucking industry affects all that we do, whether it's healthcare, if it's agriculture, construction. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's a domino effect. We came together, and we're very thankful for you all promoting the opportunity for professional development for our community and technical colleges and both diesel and CDL, because we needed a consistent platform to understand the true needs out here. We've had traditional programs at our colleges, and they've done well, but we also, through the Innovation Center, realized quickly that there are people out here that's driven, such as farmers. I think it's a 135-mile radius that they could drive without a commercial driver's license. Then you also have military people that could be grandfathered in because they've received some of the best training in the world. But uniquely, how could we do that and do it at a rapid pace to have a bigger impact? Because you think about the ships that come in at the Alabama State docks. They got to move goods. Intermodal works well, both trucking and then by train. But even if you move it by train, you still got to have some type of trucking entity to move it from the docks, wherever that may be, or the intermodal station. So you all provided that opportunity to bring the theory online and a person be able to go through that, receive their entry-level driver training permit, move right into a rapid-paced training for CDL, be it a Class A or Class B, Class B primarily being for the school bus with the endorsements for passenger and school. It could be to drive a dump truck or a concrete truck, etc. Even our lineman programs for our power companies throughout the state, be it rural and or city. It affects everybody in some capacity. So with that, we were able to promote that consistent platform. ALEA, the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, are partners of ours. They govern what we do within the CDL programs throughout the state that's offered. So they have watched it very closely to see how you all have produced this, but they've been a partner and collaborated to make sure it's done in conjunction with federal law as well as state law. So their oversight has been imperative to what we do. Ms. Rhonda Harris and Sergeant Brian Duke are consummate professionals in being able to provide guidance. And within that ties to the Alabama Trucking Association. Then that ties to business and industry because they were the ones, too, that said, we're suffering, we need drivers. How can you help us step up to the plate? Even with some of them doing their own driver training, the burden on them was time-consuming, and they were losing the opportunity for productivity because they were having to pull seasoned drivers in to become trainers. And the reason for that is they had to have 2 or more years experience in order to be that trainer. It made it tough. So the consistency and the platform that was provided now allowed best practices to be shared. It allowed all of our individuals to question what they're doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it, share what works, what doesn't work, what are the hurdles they have to overcome. Being on the TPL, the training provider list, for offering services throughout the state, but then understanding what you all do to augment and offer opportunities to do this at a much more rapid pace. Everybody's not a traditional student. You have non-traditional students. We don't need to penalize a person because they've been able to do something on a farm, and then we're going to put them in a traditional program where it takes a lot of their time, and they get frustrated and say, just forget it. I won't get my CDL. But we also have to look at any barriers that could hold them back. So you all have truly, through the auspices of the dollars that's been dedicated from the legislature, you've taken barriers away. You've put it online in a hybrid format. You still meet people in the field where they need to be met. When I say you, the colleges, you all support that with being at their facilities, or if it's at a business and industry where it needs to be conducted. Our colleges have truly stepped up. They're embracing what you all do. I embrace it and support it, and I hope our state sees this because it's truly benefiting the people of our state. A lot of people may say, well, why don't you do it for other states? Well, it's Alabamians. It's their tax dollars.
Right.
So we've got to take care of our own before we ever open the doors to do something outside. And until we get it truly perfected, and I think we're ever so close, we can't just open the door. We've got to take care of our state. And we're not going to chase the bar. We're going to set the bar. And through the Innovation Center, y'all have truly stepped up and set the bar. You set a bar very high. And other states, they're watching. You know, we get calls. It's humbling because there are people out there, even on the federal side, federal government, that's looking at your heavy equipment, CDL, and things of that nature. And other states have inquired, how can you do this? And they're shocked that our legislature stepped up. So y'all have truly raised the bar. You set the bar. And it's fun watching this change and go forward for our people in the state.
Well, Gary, we appreciate your support. You are truly an extension of our team, and we welcome all of your recommendations, advice, all the things. That's why you're with us this morning. But just for our audience, are there any current projects that you're excited about, things that maybe you could share that might be brewing, not to give too many details? We know you're always into everything. So is there a teaser that you could give us of maybe something's to come in your world or for the community college system as a whole?
Well, workforce is going to continue to change in a positive manner. We're going to see technology continue to grow, the automation side of things, through our OEMs, through healthcare. It's amazing at what technology is out there and the blessing for individuals to be able to take this technology and run with it. It's a blessing to see the Innovation Center be able to obtain things in the technology realm and pass this along and into our colleges. I know you all will continue to stay on the cutting edge of technology. You'll embrace it. It's just like fiber optics and the kits for training for that and how that's changing every day. In the world of fiber and having internet in our homes and in our businesses and moving that statewide as an initiative for our government. But uniquely, there are a lot of things on the drawing board. And I know you all have, I'm going to use the word dabbled in a lot of things, but there's a lot to come. I mean, I think we'll hear more coming forward. It's kind of like small engine repair. We don't find many old-timers left that do small engine repair. We've become a throwaway society, and we can't continue building things to throw away. If we're going to grow our economy, we've got to take care of the business and industry that's here. We've got to listen to them, and we've got to act upon it. So it may be appliance repair. It might be that in a rural area, somebody needs an electrician, or they need to understand how to work on a propane stove because they don't have natural gas out in the country. You know, that's pretty much in your cities and whatnot. But you all continue to take ideas that business and industry bring. And yes, I could probably allude to a lot of things, but the welcoming of individuals, if they get on accs.edu or they come to the Innovation Center site, they need to share their ideas, you know, because that's what's made you all so unique. You have been receptive to all ideas. Now, can we do it all? I don't think we've got quite the manpower and the funding to just do it all, but you've made it such a positive impact. They need to share those ideas. Business and industry needs to open up their hearts a little more and say, hey, we want to step up to the plate. Construction industry, look at all the highway construction taking place in our state. That's viable jobs. That's career opportunities. And a lot of people say, well, it's here today, but if it rains, I may not work tomorrow. They have ways to keep you busy. They're not going to lay you off. So seeing that, the aerospace industry, we're seeing it grow in this state. Healthcare as a whole, we're seeing it grow. So the challenge is not what you're going to do, it's when you're going to do it. And our people need to step up to the plate. It is truly a privilege to be able to serve and work beside this team. It's a privilege to be able to serve and work with our community colleges who do such a wonderful job in this state. It's also an opportunity for other state entities, for us all to come together, work together for the good of our people. It's not about a pat on the back. You know, you can get a pat on the back today, but you're going to take it with you to your grave. People don't care about that. What happened between the dash, from the start to the finish? And you all are leaving a legacy for this state to stand on, and I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Gary. I think you have been a blessing for our team as well, because you bring such unique ideas and things outside of the box that sometimes we don't think about, because this has been your world for a lot longer than ours. But your perspective and how you bring things to us is, hey, here's an idea. What do y'all think? It's really fun and exciting to really get to work with you each and every day. So we appreciate all of your ideas, your hard work, and everything you bring to our team. It's fun. It's fun every day. I always like to talk to Gary and say, what you got going on now, Gary?
Always a cheerleader.
That's right.
We appreciate it.
Well, y'all keep doing what you're doing because, I'm a firm believer we go through circumstances for three things, and that's to direct us, correct us, and or perfect us. I've been blessed. I'm still blessed, but it's not about me. I want to leave this state in a better place than I found it when I came, and started public service in 1988. And I've seen a lot of change in our state. We've got a lot of wonderful people here. And truly, it's not about me. It's not about you all. It's about what we're doing for the future of our state and how we're leaving it. So I challenge everybody to think about that. What are you doing to leave it a better place tomorrow for somebody else? Not just your family, but other people you don't even know. So you all keep doing what you're doing, because it is a true privilege, an honor, and I'm humbled that I can be a part of such a wonderful team at ACCS.
Where do we send the check, Gary?
To mama.
That's great.
I think we're good.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. We appreciate you joining in for Innovation Unplugged today. Also, please remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on all podcast platforms. Have a great day.